We got a hell of a card this weekend. UFC Saudi Arabia, Israel Adesanya versus Nasruddin Imavov. Izzy's back. He's going to be fighting this weekend. First time not in a pay-per-view in a damn long time, I believe since 2018, and first time not in a title fight since 2019. But it's a big fight. We got a fight here in Saudi Arabia. I think Izzy is properly motivated for this, but I'm going to give you my picks and predictions on the whole card, mind you. My predictions have been dog shit this year. I'm always bad in January, so let me say that. I'm bad at picking in January. I'm honestly bad at picking all the way through March, so do that with what you will, but I'm gonna nail this card, guys. Last card was fucking weird, dude. It was a weird one. A lot of weird underdogs, but I'm gonna give you picks and predictions. We're gonna do well this time, right, guys? Right? Hamdi Abdelawab versus Jamal Pogues. This is such a 50-50 fight. Now, here's the thing. Hamdi's wrestling's great. Jamal Pogues, his jiu-jitsu is dog shit. Like, when he's on the ground, he's bad, but his initial takedown defense isn't bad. Hamdi Abdelawab hasn't fought in a very long time. Now, he's tough, he's gritty, but he can get absolutely outstruck here by Jamal Pogues. Jamal Pogues is a far better boxer. He does a great job of sticking people with the jab. He's got the long reach. I do think that Hamdi Abdelawab can have some success in the grappling here. I'm going to go with Hamdi Abdelawab. He's from Egypt. Jamal Pogues is from the U.S. They're fighting in Saudi Arabia. You know what I say all the time. There's a certain type of fighter that always wins from that region. I think it's going to be such a close fight. I do think Hamdi's going to get it done anyway, but it's going to be so close that I just can't see the judges finding a way to give it to Jamal Pogues, unless there's a lot of visible damage, where there definitely can be in this fight. I don't think Jamal Pogues is the worst of the worst at featherweight. I think he's better than some of those other guys. He beat Thomas Peterson. I think that's a pretty well-aged win. But I think Thomas Peterson was very overweight in that fight, just did not look like he was ready for the UFC in that one. Hamdi went to a draw with Dontel Mays, I believe, or did he win a majority decision here? What ended up happening? It was a no contest? Maybe Royds overturned it, actually. Maybe Royds overturned it. I'm going with Hamdi Abdelawab. I think that he's going to be able to at least get some takedowns. I think there's going to be 2 rounds where he's able to get Jamal Pogues on the ground and Jamal Pogues gets stuck on the ground, honestly. I'm going Hamdi Abdelawab by decision. I do think there are going to be some moments where it looks tough initially, like he might not get his initial takedown, but he's going to be able to chain wrestle here. His wrestling background is very, very good. He's got that Greco-Roman wrestling background, very, very solid. I believe he's a champion nationally for wrestling, I believe. But I think he's going to get it done. I think he's going to have 2 rounds where he's able to get this to the ground. Jamal Pogues is going to have a round where he's peppering the jab out and able to bust Hamdi Abdelawab's face up a little bit. With the boxing. But I do think Hamdi's going to get the decision here, 29-28. I'm going Hamdi Abdelawab. Moving on, Lucas Alexander versus Bogdan Grad. Lucas Alexander does have some danger, man. I will say that. He did get fucking oddly KO'd by... fucking Jeka Saragi. But that was a weird one, man. He was kind of scrambling back to his feet, and he just got hit with something. Got subbed by Joanderson Brito. He beat Steven Peterson by decision. Steven Peterson's pretty gritty, bro. And Lucas Alexander's a good striker. He's fast, strong. Bogdan Grad's one of these contender series guys where I'm not that impressed with him, if I'm being real, dude. He won a split on the contender series to Aswell. He lost to Tom... No, dude, I'm honestly... Yeah, he has a guillotine submission. I don't think Lucas Alexander is getting beat outside of a submission here. And all the submissions I'm seeing, like an early armbar back in 2019, and then 2 guillotines where people shoot bad takedowns, I don't see Lucas Alexander shooting a bad takedown. And I do think Bogdan Grad, while he does have some KO power, I honestly think he's a little overrated. I'm going to go with Lucas Alexander to win this fight. I think his speed is going to be really a factor here. I'm going to go with Lucas Alexander to win by knockout. I'm going to pick it in round 2. Lucas Alexander knockout. Definitely could win a decision here. What are they fighting at featherweight? I'm going to pick Lucas Alexander to win a decision. I think that's what's going to happen here. I think he's just going to outstrike Bogdangrad for most of this fight. I think his kicks are going to be much better. And I think his hand speed is going to be a little bit faster. I like his reach. I like his size. I'm going to go with Lucas Alexander to win this fight here by decision. Moving on. Jasmine Jasudavicius versus Mayra Bueno Silva. I'm going Jasmine Jasudavicius. She's got the momentum. Mayra Bueno Silva has no momentum at all right now. She's usually good for a round and a half or two, but I do think at the end of the day, Jasmine Jasudavicius is just better. Her grappling stronger. Like, granted, Mayra Bueno Silva's lost to, like, the top of the division, right? Like the Raquel Pennington, the Macy Chiasson. She drew Holly Holmes, or it was a no contest because she popped Feroids after getting a submission on her. But then she subbed, like, Lena Landsberg, Stephanie Egger. Like, those are not great wins. Are they fighting at flyweight? Yeah, she's going down to fight at flyweight. I don't like her skill level at flyweight compared to the... So she is a former bantamweight. I don't like her skill level compared to the other fucking flyweights, honestly. She's not even beating the bantamweights. I'm going to pick Jasmine Jasudavicius to win here. I think I'm going to pick a TKO. I can see her getting this fight to the ground. First of all, dominating with the pressure. I think the pressure is going to be a big thing for Jasmine Jasudavicius here, but I can see her getting the fight to the ground, getting into like a dominant position, and just raining enough punches where Mayra Bueno Silva is kind of like a fish out of water on the ground and just is unable to move from that dominant full mount position. I think it's going to be a full mount position TKO in round 2 via ground and pound. That's what I'm going with. Jasmine Jasudavicius here. She's got the momentum. Like, look at who she's fought recently. Ariane De Silva's not an easy fight. It's not. Formerly Ariane Lipski. Fatima Klein is very, very good. Now, she took that fight with Jasmine Jasudavicius on short notice. Definitely undersized as well. But Fatima Klein's a very good opponent. She also finished Priscilla Cachoeira, which is not that impressive. But, again, a formal title challenger. Tracy Cortez, she lost the decision, but it was a close one. You know Cortez is getting that decision. She beat Miranda Maverick also. Like, so she's fought some of the better competition here, and it's worked out for her. Yeah, so, all right, hold on. Obvious computer issues that I have to have. I'm going Jasmine Jasudavicius by TKO in round 2. Moving on. Fares Ziam has looked so much better in his recent fights. Mike Davis is the same guy every time we see him fight. He's physical, he's strong, he's dominant. He's a great, great wrestler, dude. I think he's going to be able to use his wrestling here to get a submission on Fares Ziam, honestly. I think Fares Ziam has those very, very long limbs that make it difficult for people to get in the range for striking. But I honestly don't think he has that much power in the striking. Yes, he's coming off a crazy KO win against Matt Frivola. Matt Frivola's not that impressive to me, honestly. Like, I think Mike Davis is far better than Frivola. I think his wrestling's a lot better than Frivola's. I'm going Mike Davis to win this, man. I think he's going to be able to get it to the ground, get a submission against Fares Ziam here. We're going Mike Davis, round 2 submission. I think there's going to be moments where I think he's got the power too. I think the Fares Ziam's kind of like a string bean a little bit still on the feet. Listen, he's going to have some moments where he's able to land the jab, land some teeps. But I think when Mike Davis does land, he's going to land the more power. And I just don't think he's getting caught with that knee. That's why Fares Ziam knocked out Matt Frivola. It was a nasty knee from the clinch. I don't think he's going to be able to have any of that kind of control in the clinch against Mike Davis. Mike Davis is very physically strong. And I know Frivola is too. But Mike Davis is bigger than Frivola. Dude, he's literally like, when he gets in that octagon, he's going to be bigger than Fares Ziam. Not in terms of height, but in terms of physical size in that octagon. He'll walk in heavier. He's going to be more powerful. He doesn't have such a size disadvantage like I think Matt Frivola did. So I like the grappling of Mike Davis a lot. I think it's far more dominant. I think he's able to control positions. And even if it does go to decision, I think it's because Mike Davis is able to get position over submission in this fight and dominate in the grappling. I'm going Mike Davis to win this fight here. I'm going to go round 2 submission. I think he gets a rear naked choke where Fares Ziam, or you know what? I'm going arm triangle. I think arm triangle submission round 2 for Mike Davis. I think he's going to be able to get to a dominant position, latch up that arm triangle, squeeze it, and Fares Ziam taps out. I actually think Fares Ziam's on a little bit of a hot streak. He started to do much, much better here. But, like, he beat Claudio Puelles. Not a dominant, like, he's got great jiu-jitsu, but he's a leg lock specialist, and that's really it. People know how to defend those now. Jai Herbert, he beat in one of the most boring fights of all time. Michael Figlak, another boring ass fight, and then he knocked out Favola. Like, these wins aren't that great. He got subbed by McKinney, dude. If you got subbed by McKinney, and I know McKinney's a first round warrior, but I think Mike Davis is going to be able to take advantage of this. Round 2 arm triangle, Mike Davis. Moving on. Terrence McKinney versus Damir Hadzovic. If you don't remember, Damir Hadzovic is the guy that you see the clip of when he was fighting Moicano, and Moicano wanted to fight him after the bell when he said, sorry, dude, I'm not fun fighting. And Damir Hadzovic was like, well, then you shouldn't have fucking submitted me, motherfucker. I think Hadzovic is tough. He's gritty. I'm going to go with Terrence McKinney, though. I think they're going to swing on the feet a little bit here. Oh, dude, I just don't trust Terrence McKinney's chin at all, though. Knocked out by Rivovic. He knocked out Marotte. He knocked out Mike Breeden. He got subbed by Sadikov. I don't know if this gets to round 2, though. That's my problem. That really is my problem here. But these are the type of opponents Terrence McKinney beats, man. Like, he beats the ones that aren't that good. No disrespect to Hadzovic here. He beats the ones that aren't that good, but, like, I don't know, man. I can see him just out-wrestling Hadzovic here, getting him to the ground and pound or a submission. If it gets to round 2, Hadzovic is going to fucking fraud check him. We all know. And again, I'm not calling it, I don't mean to call it fraud check because it's just not, but Hadzovic is a tough man to get out of there, bro. He got subbed by Moicano in 20. Dude, he's just not been active. He really has not been active enough. I think he's going to have the jitters there in round 1. I think Terrence McKinney's going to get a knockout, and I think it's actually going to come on the feet. Or he gets a ground and pound submission. I'm going round 1 knockout, Terrence McKinney. He's getting back in the win column here. Hadzovic gets dominated in the grappling very frequently. But I also think he's going to be very, very cold getting in the cage. I really do. I think he's going to have a lot of those jitters to start out in the fight. And I think that's when Terrence McKinney's dangerous. I'm going Terrence McKinney round 1 knockout. Moving on. Abdul Karim Al-Sawadi versus Balagioki. This is a pretty good fight. Balagioki's got some pretty good grappling. And I know Al-Sawadi lost to Loic Rajabov recently, but I think Al-Sawadi's getting it done. I'm picking Abdul Karim Al-Sawadi. When he fought in the Contender Series, he destroyed George Hardwick. And George Hardwick's a really tough, gritty fighter. Very good fighter. I don't think Balagioki's... I don't think he's going to be able to get it done. I trust the grappling advantage from Abdul Karim Al-Sawadi here, and I like his pace and his pressure. His pace is not necessarily the most forward pressure guy. Like, George Hardwick was pushing the pace on him, or pushing the pressure on him, but Abdul Karim Al-Sawadi had the pace and was able to kind of land a lot of those jabs, land low kicks, land big power shots. I think he's going to have the power advantage against Oki here. I think he's going to have the grappling advantage. I like Al-Sawadi to win this fight, and I like him to get it done by a ground and pound KO. I think he's going to be able to get this fight to the ground. I think he's going to be able to get a finish. So I'm going round 3 because I think Salwadi's cardio is actually pretty damn good. I'm going round 3 finish from Al-Sawadi, ground and pound TKO on Balagioki. I don't think Balagioki's bad. I think he's pretty good, but his first fight went to a split with Timmy Kwamba. Not a great look. Chris Duncan, he got subbed by. I'm looking at this, man, and I'm going Al-Sawadi, dude. He lost to Loic Rajabov, yes, but, like, that was kind of a scrap, and that was the best Rajabov has ever looked, and I don't think Al-Sawadi made him that way. I think it was just one of those performances where he came in and he tuned up. So I'm going Abdul Karim Al-Sawadi to win this fight. He's got the name that's going to get the nod from the judges, even though he's got the American flag. He might get the name that gets the nod. So I'm doing Abdul Karim Al-Sawadi. Is he, the second underdog pick? Is he even he is an underdog, but is the other one like... No, Alexander's a favorite. Abdelewab's a slight favorite. Those are fucking pick'ems, dude. See, these are guys that I pick like early, pick a week in advance. They're underdogs, and then all of a sudden they flip. So I don't care though. I'm trying to pick fights correctly. I'm not trying to fucking underdog glaze. But Salwadi's getting it done. Shamil Gaziev versus Thomas Peterson. Now, I did like Thomas Peterson's last performance. He looked very impressive. Looked like he had a better pace. It was against Muhammad Usman, and Muhammad Usman sucks. Just saying. I'm going to go fucking Shamil Gaziev, though. Who are we kidding, dude? Who are we kidding? I think Gaziev's much bigger. And I think he's got the Bahrainian name, right? So I'm going Shamil, dude. How can I not pick Shamil, dude? We all love Shamil. He's much bigger than Thomas Peterson in terms of size. He's got a little bit more octagon experience. He beat Dontel Mays last time. He lost to Biggie Boy via cardiac arrest. He beat Martin Budai. Got a for round one. So I don't think. The problem is, I don't think he's finishing Thomas Peterson. But I don't think they're going to give Thomas Peterson a decision here. I'm going to go with a decision for Shamil Gaziev. I can absolutely see a world in which Peterson ends up winning. But I think Gaziev's going to be able to stall this fight up against the cage, land a lot of knees to the thigh here, be able to really grit and ugly this fight out to a decision. I'm going Shamil. Shamil's winning the decision here, man. 29-28, Shamil Gaziev decision. Khan Offley versus Muhammad Naimov. I'm picking Muhammad Naimov. I don't think Khan Offley's that great. He's all right. Again, he's all right. But he got pieced up by Myron Santos. Those low kicks are going to be there for Muhammad Naimov. And I know Naimov isn't great at landing the low kicks necessarily, but I think he can mix up the grappling as well from Tajikistan. And I think he's got pop and I think he's got power too. And I think Khan Offley is very hittable. People like to call him fucking Alexander Volkanovski at home, but I don't see it. I don't. I think that Muhammad Naimov's going to have the size advantage when they get in the cage. He's definitely got the reach advantage. He's got the grappling advantage. He's got the volume advantage. I think he's going to be able to win this fight pretty convincingly. I'm going to go with a round 2 knockout Muhammad Naimov here. I think he's going to be able to implement a little bit of grappling here to make Khan Offley start to think about the grappling too much, and it's going to just open up a big right overhand right that he's going to land and knock out Khan Offley. So I'm going Muhammad Naimov, round 2 KO here. Very confident in this pick. Moving on. Said Nurmagomedov versus Vinicius Oliveira. Now, I think this is a fucking scrap. I think Vinicius Oliveira is very, very good. I think Said Nurmagomedov is also very good. Now, I'm going to say Said Nurmagomedov, I think, is just a little bit better than Vinicius Oliveira in all facets. Now, what I will say is Vinicius Oliveira has insane power. Very, very good. But Said is fucking fast, dude. I think he's a really good striker. And where you can beat Said is in the clinch and by beating his leg up. And I think Vinicius Oliveira can have some moments where he beats the leg up, but I don't think he's going to be able to use the clinch and use those body knees and those elbows like Jonathan Martinez was able to do against Said. I think Said's going to be able to be faster in this fight, land a little bit more. A lot of the tapping low kicks are going to show damage, but I think this is going to be a fucking scrap overall. I think this is fight of the night right here. I'm telling you right now. Oliveira and Said Nurmagomedov is going to have fight of the night. I think we're going to get a 29-28 split decision Said. It's going to be one of these ones that are an absolute coin flip, and I like Vinicius Oliveira a lot. There are openings. There definitely are. And he's on a fucking hot streak, dude. He's got all the momentum. Round 1 KO, round 3 KO. He's got a decision against Ricky Simone. But I'm going to... Oh, this is such a tough fight to pick. It's just hard to go against a Nurmagomedov when they're in the Middle East, bro. Like, it really is. And I think that's what it's just going to give him. I think it's going to be such a 50-50 fight. I think Said's striking is going to look a little faster, and I think he's just going to outland in terms of output Vinicius Oliveira, and I think that's what's going to get him the decision here. I can see him getting one of those nasty guillotine chokes when Vinicius Oliveira starts to get in close range, but Said likes to keep it on the outside or really close for the guillotine submissions or the insanely high-speed kicks that he has. I think the boxing from Vinicius Oliveira is much better, I'm going to be real, but the kickboxing is better from Said, and I think he manages that range well enough. I'm going Said Nurmagomedov to win a decision here, 29-28. Scrap of a fight, fight of the night. Could be a fight of the year contender. Keep an eye out on this one. Moving on. Sergey versus Biggie Boy. I'm so tempted to pick Biggie Boy, bro. Now, here's what happens. Either Sergey Pavlovich starches Biggie Boy in round 1 with one of those random shovel uppercuts that he fucking lands on everybody. Even landed it on Aspinall, just didn't knock him out. Or he gets low kicked so much so early that he can barely walk and Biggie Boy walks his way to an easy decision. but I'm going to go with Sergey Pavlovich, man. I know that I like to pick a lot with momentum, and Rosenstrike has the momentum with wins recently over Gaziev, Tuivasa. He lost it by sub to Almeida. It's the only time he's been subbed, but he's been KO'd twice. It was against Volkov and Ngannou. So again, this guy's not easy to knock out. You have to have some kind of special skill or power, but Sergey's got special power. And I think that Biggie Boy, while his his check hook's really fucking good. Like, if Sergey just, blitzes in and stuff, I can totally see Jairzinho, sniping a left hook around it to wobble him and hurt him and make Sergey give him some more respect. But I really like the reach advantage here for Sergey. Yeah, I'm going to pick Sergey to win by knockout here. I am. I'm going to pick Sergey to win by knockout. Dude, I know it's a big, heavy favorite. It's not a sexy pick. But I'm going to trust the odds makers know what's coming here. I'm going Sergey by round 1 knockout. I think it's going to be that classic shovel uppercut that he lands all the time, where he marches in, throws the jab, shovel uppercut, and it just kind of sits Jairzinho down, and he lands the 1-2 follow-up KO. That's what we're going with. I'm trying to look at Sergey's fucking recent fights, dude. Because it was lost to Aspinall and Volkov, the two best guys in the division, not named John Jones. Then knocked out Curtis Blades, the next best guy. Knocked out Tuivasa. Yeah. Knocked out Derek Lewis. Knocked out Shamil Abdur. That guy sucks. Mo Green. Dude, realistically, it's before Derek Lewis, he didn't fucking fight anyone other than Overeem. Overeem fucking starched him, but that's 2018 Overeem, man. So it is what it is. I'm doing it. It's Sergey Pavlovich round 1 knockout. It is. I get it, dude. Seeing plus 265 on Jairzinho Rosenstrike is very attractive. But if I weren't looking at the odds and I were just saying who's winning the fight, I'm going to say Sergey Pavlovich. It's just, I think Biggie Boy's being a little disrespected by the line here, but I'm going round 1 KO for Sergey, that shovel uppercut. Moving on. Sharon Nurmagomedov versus MVP. Now, what I didn't know is that MVP, he's like that, man. He believes in some of the same things they believe over there. So, I'm not totally convinced that Sharon Nurmagomedov will get a robbery decision here. Now, that was going to be my pick. Shara is going to clearly lose this fight 29-28, and MVP is going to get robbed, and we're going to see Sharon Nurmagomedov get a robbery decision in his favor, blah, 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 blah. But saw some things about MVP that make me think that they may not be out to get him just as much as I thought they were going to be, if you know what I mean. But all jokes aside, because it's a fucking joke, guys, even if there is a completely clear trend, just ask Jared Gordon when he fought Nasrat Hakparast. Clear trend. I think MVP is better. I think MVP strike. Dude, we keep seeing these guys fight MVP like Kevin Holland, right? Got dominated in the striking. And I know it's Kevin Holland, but then you see Ian Gary, who's one of the best strikers in the division, dude. He's going to absolutely... I'm going to piece up Michael Venom Page. Dude, he got pieced up by Michael Venom Page, panic shot, and had to grapple that whole fight. I get that his name is Shara Magomedov, and he's got the Russian flag next to him, but his grappling isn't good. It really isn't. He got taken down and controlled by Bruno Silva in the grappling. I think Ian Gary's grappling's much better than Shara Magomedov, and Michael Venom Page took a round off of Ian Gary. I think Ian Gary's striking is better than Shara's, even though Shara's got some nasty kicks. But I think MVP, I think he's going to cause a lot of problems for Shara with his blitz, where he dances around a lot. Quick 1-2 in. He is one of the fastest strikers that we've seen at welterweight. He's got the skill of a welterweight, and he's going up to fight up middleweight. I think he's going to be a little bit heavier, just as fast. I think he's just going to be a little bit stronger, more powerful, and I think he's going to get this one done. Honestly, I think he's getting a knockout on Shara here. I can see him flatlining Shara Magomedov in round 2 or 3. Shara's known to get tired. He really is. And I think that blitz 1-2 from Michael Venom Page is going to be there on Shara a lot. Shara's going to have a lot of moments where he's landing kicks and stuff, but when he's not inside landing those low kicks, he's trying to land those side kicks, and that just seems prime for me for Michael Venom Page. His timing is so good that I can see MVP just bang, bang, jumping in, landing a 1-2 that knocks Shara Magomedov down. Doing that a couple of times, and then one of those, he's going to land a spinning elbow when Shara's trying to, do some crazy shit, and it's going to catch Shara and knock him out. So I think something flashy, flatline KO from Michael Venom Page here in round 3. That's what I'm going with. Round 3 KO, MVP. I'm calling it now. Round 3 KO, Michael Venom Page in this fight. I think this is going to be the one where Shara gets taken to school. I really do, dude. I saw Armen Petrosian have success in the striking with him. I saw him not look great against Tricoli for 2 rounds, and then Tricoli totally gas out. I saw Michal Oleksiejczyk have some success in the grappling in their fight, and honestly have some moments on the feet. Saw Bruno Silva had some moments in the grappling. I'm not impressed with what I'm seeing from Shara. Like the KO on fucking Petrosian was nuts. But Petrosian was having success. And that's where I just don't think MVP is going to let Shara Magomedov. I think Shara is going to have a really tough time hitting MVP. And I think MVP is going to be way too fast and absolutely screw up the timing of Shara Magomedov. And I think he's going to land and get a KO. MVP KO round 3. Moving on. Nasruddin Imavov versus Israel Adesanya. Guys, listen. He's not the champion. He hasn't been the champion for over 2 years, or a year and a half now. He hasn't been the champ since August of 2023, or September of 23, guys. Come on. But he's going to win this fight. I do think Izzy's going to win this fight. I think Izzy and Nasruddin Imavov have a little bit too much of a point fight for Izzy not to win. And that's where, if Izzy's going to have a point fight and you're willing to have that point fight with Izzy, I think he's going to beat you in a point fight. I do. I think he's going to be able to kick the legs. I think he's going to be able to mix those kicks up high. I think he's going to be able to switch southpaw and do a lot of damage. Land the straight 2 down the middle. I think Imavov's fast. He's very good, and he's a decent grappler. But he doesn't have the jiu-jitsu that can submit Adesanya to me. I think Baralho would beat Adesanya because I think he can get it to the ground, and I think he has the jiu-jitsu to actually finish the fight. But I don't think Imavov has that jiu-jitsu, and Izzy's very good at getting back to his feet if you're not able to get to his back and latch up a submission, which only Dricus has been able to do so far. Now, I get momentum. It means a lot. But I think we're going to see a very motivated Adesanya. I think he's going to land a lot of good shots. I think he's going to win a 49-46 decision here. I think he's going to take Nasruddin Imavov to school, if I'm being honest. I don't like Izzy's boxing that much. I do like Imavov's boxing better. But I like the kicks of Israel Adesanya much better than I do Nasruddin Imavov. I like the diversity in Izzy's strikes a little bit better, too. I think Izzy's going to get it done. I do. And you guys know me, dude. I'm not the biggest Izzy fan, man. I like to shit on him all the fucking time. I think this is a perfectly made matchup for him to win, though. I do. I really do. If they wanted to give him a fight that they thought he was going to possibly lose, they would have given him the Baralho fight. But I think they knew that Baralho was going to... I think Baralho would run through him. I think Baralho would beat everyone in the division. Except maybe Hamzat and DDP. But, he's the toughest fight for those 2 guys, in my respective opinion. I think Baralho's the guy of the future, but... And Imavov's very good. But I look at these fights and I'm like... Brendan Allen, he did get taken down and controlled for a whole round there, but he ended up winning in not the most impressive fashion. He KO'd Cannonier, but they were going to be 2-2 going into 5 if the fight didn't get stopped. And maybe Imavov was going to end up getting the KO, but Cannonier took 2 rounds off him. And Cannonier's good, I get it, but he's also older. But he got the finish against Cannonier, kind of. Dolidze, he gets a majority decision, which I totally disagree with. I thought he dominated Roman Dolidze. I thought it was a 49-46, but he got deducted a point, so it's a 48-46. So Dolidze won that fight. I'm sorry. He won that fight by majority decision, but it was really a 48-46. No contest against Chris Curtis, and he was piecing up Chris Curtis, though. I will say that. And then Strickland, he lost a decision to. Yeah, but a lot of guys lose decisions to Strickland, dude, if I'm being real. And then before that, it's Joaquin Buckley, he KO'd. Joaquin Buckley, he decision, but, kind of dominated. He KO'd Shabazzian. He KO'd Ian Heinisch. He lost a majority decision to Phil Haas, but that's when Phil Haas was grappling and he was able to control him. It's not Izzy's type of fight. But I'm going to go with Izzy. I think he gets it done. I think he outpoints Nasruddin Imavov, takes him to school a little bit on the feet. I'm going 49-46 Israel Adesanya. I just like the diversity of his strikes. I like his hunger. I like he's been training with Whitaker. I think Whitaker's a very good training partner for Nasruddin Mavav. I'm going Izzy to win this fight, 49-46. These are the picks and predictions. Just to run through them again, it's Israel Adesanya, MVP underdog, Sergey Pavlovich, even though I do think Rosie's a live dog, but I'm going Sergey. Said Nurmagomedov, close-ass fight. Muhammad Naimov, lock. Shamil Ghaziev's going to get the decision. Al-Sawadi, underdog. Terrence McKinney's going to get the finish. Mike Davis is going to win. Jasmine Jasudavicius, Lucas Alexander, and Hamdi Abdallah. Those are the picks and predictions. I was 14-13 so far this year, but let's fucking sweep a card, dude. I've had multiple times where I've gotten one fight wrong in a card and it just pisses me off. It was Saint-Denis when he lost to fucking Poirier because he got fucking staph infection. And then it was Gerald Meerschaert when he lost to DeRitter. I picked Meerschaert, but this is the one. We're clean sweeping. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please like and subscribe. It's time to get back in the fucking win category for picks. What a card. Starts at 9 a.m. It's in Saudi Arabia. Starts at 9 a.m. on the East Coast, 6 a.m. on the West Coast. Tune in. It's going to be a fucking banger.